Hello, everyone. It's Shantae again from Stitching Hearts Embroidery. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how to make my newest pattern, my newest in the hoop design. It is a composition notebook cover. So I'm looking around because I'm making sure I have my stuff over here. And so here it is. This is the book that we are covering. It is a standard size composition book. There are many different brands. I got this from Wally World, and so I think it's their brand on here, Pen and Gear, but there are some other ones. I don't see a size on here, but it is the standard composition notebook. It says composition notebook. So it's not the brand, but it is just a standard size. These go on sale for how many? For $1 when school gets ready to start. So that's coming soon. So I have two different patterns listed, or two different ways to make it. So I have multiple patterns just depending on the design on the front of the cover. But I have two ways to make it. One is I'm using my Bai Mirror embroidery machine, and it's not just for the Bai. I just say Bai because that's what I know about. This is the hoop that I know. And I believe it's like I don't know, it's like a 14 by 20 or something. It's a big old hoop. And so the design, I think I have it listed. You need at least 17 by 12 inches in order to make it with what I'm calling the jumbo pattern. And so it says jumbo in the listing. Let me put this back on here. It says jumbo in the listing, and that is it. This is a jumbo hoop to me. And so when you're making this cover in the jumbo hoop, you're just going to make it in one hooping. It's going to lay out flat, and you're going to stitch it, the whole thing. The pockets are going to go on. We're just going to make our layers like you do a normal in the hoop design, and it's going to stitch. But I also have a pattern where I'm using my Brother 10 needle, and that hoop is like a 8 by 12. And so when using that pattern, then there's 3 hoopings that you have to do in order to make the notebook. So let me show you the notebook, Let me show you already. And so I have a stack of them here because I've just been making them. I've been trying all the different things. And so I'm going to show you my latest one. This is the one that I made, I think, yesterday, and I love it. It is butterfly quilting on the front, and then I use a minky kind of material for the binding, or the spine of it, or the binding, and then the same, I didn't put the pattern on the back, so just the same minky as the front, but without the butterflies. And then, as you can see, the pockets. And so it's just a nice finished design. I have the butterflies. Those are bumblebees on the inside for the lining. And so it is just a nice feel. It turns this little, when school starts, it'll be 25-cent composition books. Well, I'll say in the past, they were 25 cents. We don't really know what they're going to be this year, but that notebook, it just really ups this notebook, like just makes it a whole nother level. So I did one in a teacher design, or, like a school design, and I put a little snap on it. It's using quilt cotton, and I made this one. So I made this one on my Brother 10 needle. And so I made the front cover, then I hooped and made the back cover with the pocket really quick, just some basic lay down, stitch around, lay down, stitch around, lay down, stitch around, like pretty simple. And then the third hooping is this band in the middle, and that's when we put all the parts together. And I gave you more than enough nice satin stitch to hold it all together. And so this one was made on the Brother in 3 hoopings. I did a demonstration yesterday in my school community. So I demonstrated doing that hooping on the brother yesterday. And so then I thought today, let me just switch up and do it on the Bai. And so in my school community, it is Stitching Hearts Embroidery, and it's all things in the hoop. I love stitching in the hoop designs, and so that's what we're doing. Now, we definitely learned some digitizing. We learned some things about software, because you have to know those things in order to stitch. Like, there's some basic things that you have to know. And then whenever there is a need or a question or desire, then we dig in a little deeper. So we have a lot of good conversation, a lot of good stitching, a lot of goodness going on in Stitching Hearts Embroidery School. Stitching Hearts Embroidery. I was going to say school. And so anyway, so let's get to it. So today we're going to do it on the mirror, on the Bai Mirror. And I said it's one hooping. And so we're going to lay this down, and it's just going to be laying like this. And so if I wanted to add a name or a monogram or some other pattern, I have Minky on it. That's what you see flying. Or something on here, design it different, then it's going to lay just like this. And so you definitely can do that. You would put your extra design on before you put your pockets on. And so I'll show you that when we get to that. And so let me just run through these. So I did this one in this black and white. This one is butterflies in gray. Here's another one with a tab that I haven't finished the tab. And it's just a cute book lover design. This is another one with Minky and my very own quilting pattern. So today we're making it for my grandson. So I have twin grands, a boy and a girl. And so I made this dragon one for her. I don't know that she'll like it. She's kind of girly girl, but then she kind of liked some other stuff. But I liked it and I made it. And so look, I put these little eyelets on here. I just added that before I put the pockets on. And I got these cute little heart-shaped locks off of Amazon, and they come with a little key. It's like a little diary lock. So I'm going to put that lock on this for her. And then we're going to make one for my grandson, her twin brother. And I have just some regular little locks. And here they are. And they come with a little key. They are just super cute. And just to keep them out of each other's stuff, they definitely get along and play together and do all the things. But then they also argue and bother each other's stuff all the time. And so actually, I had made this one for her. And so if I can open that up and stick she definitely will like this one better, because it even has her name on it. If I can open this up, because I didn't put a tab on it to put the lock on, I probably will give her this one. So I'll figure it out. I can put a little hole. I can turn the pocket back out, put a little hole in there, stick a tab in there and sew it back up or something. So I'll fix that for her. But let's get going so we're not here all night. Let's get started. So I have, my machine is ready and oiled. This is the pattern that I'm going to use for his cover. And instead of cotton in the middle, I'm going to use this kind of faux leather. And I cut two little leather, I'll find them when it's time. Here they are. Two little leather tabs that I'm going to stick in there, and they are not finished. And it's just kind of the look that I wanted for him. And I'm going to put those, and I'm going to put a hole and an eyelet and where he can put the little lock on there. So we'll do that when we get there. So let's get started. I hooped no-show mesh. I like no-show mesh with this quilting, both with the Minky and with cotton. I feel like tearaway makes it more stiff and kind of just, I don't know, I like the feeling better. And so first of all, let's run our placement stitch. And so this is just going to run right on the stabilizer to let us know where to lay our cotton batting. I said cotton batting. I am not a traditional quilter. I love everything about quilting, and I'm learning quilting. And so I hope that This is cotton batting. It is. So I'm running the placement stitch. I'm gonna lay my batting down. I'm gonna tack it down. So I'm gonna run another stitch, and then I'm going to cut around it just to keep, you know, I don't want all that extra bulky, what do you call this? So my no-show mesh is not really large enough for my hoop. That's what I was holding down right now. And so I need to hoop 2 pieces just to make the cut. And is this big enough? I am barely making it here. And so I don't usually do a lot of measuring, but the measurements are in the pattern, in the instructions. And so if you like to measure, if you know, and definitely you want to have everything kind of ready before before you get started, then the measurements are in there. I just feel like I know that it's going to fill up my hoop, so I just pull my batting over there and cut it about a little smaller than my hoop. I'm going to grab, oh, I have one, a little stick, and hold that down. And I need some scissors to cut around my batting. I'm just gonna get started so we can just move on here. Wait, maybe I'm not. It's coming back. It's coming back. I'm racing. I better stop. It's coming back. So it's gonna tack that batting down really well. And whenever I'm tacking something down, I do like to give you a, I need to grab a trash can. I do like to give you a double run around there just so that it is good and tacked down. So here we go again. I'm trying it. I need to be staying out of the way. I know the drill. But I am trying to get this done. I really need to make a video on the brother also, because though I did it in the community, I did not record it. And so the faster I get this done, the more likely I am to do another one. So it really is a pretty easy thing to put together. And there are so many variations I feel like you can do. Like my daughter, with my youngest granddaughter, asked me today, am I making her girl one? And she's like, what am I doing? I need to run a stitch. So I don't have the instructions in front of me, but you can kind of tell by, everything is placement, tag down, placement, tag down. So it is giving me placement for the middle part, the binding part of the book, this part of the book cover. And so I told you I'm going to use this, this kind of faux leather material. Had some minky on my face before I started, and it was bothering me, and I finally looked in the mirror and it was just sticking off right there. What are you doing? So I am stopping that because I see my own flaw. It went around multiple times and it should have only gone around once. So I must have not put a color change, if you guys know anything about those color changes, in the pattern. So I'm gonna back this up and let that happen again right on top of this vinyl. I will fix that and re-upload the pattern as soon as I'm done here. Now I remember that, but I had forgotten it. So I need to go, and I need to go back. Oh, I don't think did I cut? I don't know. And close and start. And so it's okay if it goes around multiple times on this vinyl, but we're just wasting time tacking down the batting. So it was really just supposed to be a placement line there. I am not gonna stop this video and start over. So it's okay. I'm sure you guys understand. It's just going around and around and around. I'm not sure what I have on there, but it must be a color stop issue. So I just want to see what it's gonna do. Okay. So yep, that was the placement because it actually went around 3 times. So that was the placement and the tack down for this middle binding part. And so I'm cutting it. It is not, you don't have to be super meticulous. All the pieces are gonna butt up together, but because I'm using this vinyl and I'm gonna use my applique button and pull this out a little bit. I don't want the extra bulk. I am cleaning it up probably a little better than I normally would. So I'm gonna put it back. And now it's gonna run a little decorative quilting pattern right on that binding. And I think that's pretty quick. And the next part is I already put Heat and Bond Light on the back of on some of my materials. I still have to do the other ones. I just like to give it just that extra protection from fraying, and I like to iron everything down at the end, and I feel like having the Heat and Bond Light on there just makes it so clean and crisp. So yep, that's almost done. And so I don't think this is really directional. And as you can see, I have more fabric than I need. So I'm looking at the little characters and I see this guy, the pink one. I forgot his name. I don't know his name. And I want to make sure I get him on there. And so, let's see this side. Yes, he's right in the middle here. So I'm going to do that. And so it's going to tack the first panel down. I don't think I need Heat and Bond Light for my pocket. I have 2 pockets ready to go and a back liner. So we have our 2 panel pieces, our middle binding, 2 pocket pieces that we're going to fold in half. Let me iron them a little bit. And our back panel. So 2 pocket pieces, back panel, pockets, and bindings already on there. Pretty simple. There is a quilt pattern, and it's just basic squares that we're going to run on this one. I'm going to cut some of this excess off because it'll be just my luck that it turns around and catches on itself. So I am just cleaning up this edge, even though there's going to be plenty of satin stitch to cover along here. I still don't want the bulk. I don't want anything sticking out. And so it's no special cutting going on. But I did just clean that up a little bit. I'm going to keep my little scrap because it has some characters on it and I might be able to use that for something. So it is quilting the fabric. It's a simple quilt pattern. It's not going to take too long. Let's get all this ready. So this is my second panel. This is my back panel that I do want heat and bond light on. I want to be able to iron it down in the end. It just will make the bag lay so much smoother. So I'm going to cut this piece. Do I have good scissors? Yes. And so again, you guys can have all of this ready. The instructions will tell you the size and how much that you need to bond it, or you should. This is way more than I need. So let me figure this out. So I know I don't need this much. Okay. So my iron is ready, and I am going to just attach this to the heat and bond light. And again, this is going to be the lining, I'm calling it the back panel, but it's really the lining on the inside. On the hoop, we are actually working on the front and the back at the same time. One of these sides is the front and one of these sides is the back. And the more you make it, so like again, it's laying on the hoop just like this. That binding is in the middle, and right now it is doing this side, and it's done. So I need to lay my second panel down over here. I want that little guy again, but my heat and bond light is kind of torn over there. Let's see. Oh, I can get him. I can get him right in there. I think just like that. Not Squirtle. I don't know his name. I did not tape that or anything. This is such a simple, straightforward pattern. There's not a lot of extra anything going on. Not, thick layers or anything like that. I'm only pushing this down because my ironing was not the best. And so it was a little wrinkled over here. I think it's going to go around there twice. Yep. And then it's going to do the quilting pattern. So this is going to be my back panel, and then I wanted to iron my pockets. So I'm going to put this over here and grab my 2 pockets. My pockets are not big enough. These are not my pockets. Let me find my pockets. These must be my pockets. Yep, I think this is my pocket. So, I was a little stingy on this fabric here for this pocket. Let me cut this so it's not sticking up and getting caught in anything. So here I am wasting my fabric for my side panels, and it looks like my pockets are barely gonna make it. I'm looking at the computer. I think I said the pockets should be about 8 by 12 on this pattern. And I believe that number is because the pattern is about 11 inches, so that gives you a little bit extra in the length. And we're going to fold it in half to make the pocket. So let's do that. So let's see. Let me measure this and see what I have. Oh wait, I have 8 by. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. So it should fit. And if not, I need to fix those instructions. And I'm just eyeballing it when I'm cutting it. So I was just cutting the, what do you call that? The salvage off. And I said I was gonna iron them. And so for these, they are the pockets. They are gonna lay just like that. I just don't feel like they're big enough. I feel like my pockets came way over there. Let me grab one that I know that I made on here. This one. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's barely gonna make it. So let's see what fabric I have left. I do have enough. 24, I do. I have enough. So I'm gonna cut a larger piece. I would rather err on the side of too much fabric than to not be able to complete this because my pocket is too short and it ends up with a hole where the fabric doesn't catch. So this will be 2 pockets. Yeah, this is definitely wider and probably more like what I need. I will update that pattern as I need to. So I would just say the first time you make it, give yourself some room. It's gonna give me a placement mark to show me where to lay my pocket fabric. Okay, let's see what's next. So now it's asking me to lay down my tab. That is the placement line for my tab. So the deal is it's only going to give me 1, right? But I have a plan. I have a plan for 1 on both sides. And so I'm thinking about this. I have to figure it out. And this is my favorite part about In the Hoop stuff. So when I put this on here, that one will be like that. And this one will be like this, right? But I need to flip it over. Yep, just like this. And so that one will be there. I'm gonna tape the second one down because there's no placement stitch for this second tab. I'm just doing this so that I can put a lock on there. Piece of tape. I'm gonna tape them down, and then I think once I tape them, let me make sure I'm looking at that right. When I open up my book, it'll be going that way, yes. And so if all else fails, he will see the back of the vinyl for his lock and not the pretty brown color, but I think I have it right. I'm gonna tape this one too. Just make sure it's not sticking out too much. And so the reason that this is really, really gonna work is because we're gonna put the pocket on and the stitch is gonna go all the way around. So even though I did not put a tab on the opposite side for, to be able to do this lock, it'll still be fine. I'm just trying to look and make sure that they look about the same. Man, that tape did not stick at all. I just lifted that whole thing right up. I think that I have so much minky floating around in here that everything is a little disturbed by it. So let's do that. Since it's not tacked down, let's just move it back a little bit. So about halfway. So I hope that makes sense. And it may not, because sometimes you really just have to you have to get in and do it. And so it's going to tack down the one on that side. That's what's in the pattern. And I'm laying those tabs inward, right? Perfect. And then now it should give me 4 little spots. It's going to give me one at the top, one at the bottom, one at the top, and one at the bottom. And those 4 spots are where I'm supposed to put my pockets. And so when I say this is just simple, lay it down, let the machine stitch. Lay it down, let the machine stitch. There's no, fancy work. There's no major like flip and folds or things going on with this pattern. So I'm going to use the applique button again, bring it out so that I can see where those marks are. So when you're laying your pockets, you want the folded edge going toward the middle. And so I have 2 little lines I'm lining it up with. 1 and 2. And then one over here. And so my folded edge, let me show you. Right? My folded edge is going toward the middle of my bag. I am covering up those 2 tabs that I put on there. And this stitch that's going to go around is going to lock those tabs in also. I'm going to cut these corners a little bit because I don't want them to pop up when the machine goes around. I don't want them in the, they're just kind of sticking out. I could have used a smaller piece of fabric and I wouldn't have this issue. Okay, so that, I just did not want those corners sticking out like that. I don't want it to catch on the machine. I am not taping anything. This is, again, pretty straightforward. It's going to go around and tack on the pockets. We're almost done. So I've probably done more talking than making this. Oh, I took the applique button out and I did not push it back, but it's good to see that it went back in place. That was that first movement. That was scary. I forgot. And see, I said that was going to catch. And it did, just a little bit. So both pockets will be on, and it caught the tab in there. That's good. And it's gonna go around two times. I just wanted to make sure. So it's securing the pocket. So the only thing left, maybe kind of the longest part, is it's gonna give us a nice satin stitch down the middle on the sides of this binding. So on this one it's green, so it's gonna go down and up and down. It's gonna really secure these 2 panels to the middle, and then it's a really quick stitch placing that lining fabric on. So we're almost done. So it's been 33 minutes and I've probably talked for more than half of it. Okay, and so next, satin stitches. So it's just going to give us a nice satin stitch. I hope I cleaned that up enough. I think I did. Maybe not. It's giving us a zigzag that's really putting them together. I'm gonna stop it when it gets up to the top, and I just see a little bit of fray sticking out, and I'm gonna catch that. So That part that I said about don't worry about cleaning it up good, maybe go ahead and clean it up. I'm gonna grab some glasses so that I make sure that I'm cutting what I'm supposed to be cutting. And so it's some frayed area where I did not have my heat and bond light really good. Actually, I probably should not really worry about this too much. I can fix this in the end. So yes, so ignore whatever I said about you don't have to cut that neatly. We always want to cut neat, right? So I grab my little snips and I'm just going up along the side. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I pulled my heat and bond light off, I had two pieces of fabric stuck together. And it tore some of the heat and bond light off. And so that's where this edge, that's why I didn't want to put this piece on that side. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this side too while I'm here. I actually really like running this pattern on this machine. I don't mind the other one, but there, it's almost like applique. You have to stand there and I feel like I have to, be on the lookout while I'm butting the panel up against the middle part just to be sure that it catches. And with this one, no matter what, these are bound together. They're bound together on the stabilizer. And then there's these satin stitches like this one just, oh, okay. So I think we're good. So it is, oh yeah, it's more than enough, giving a nice satin stitch across there. So this is the satin stitch. It's gonna go down and then it's a little decorative stitch at the top. And then it's just gonna give us one, we're gonna lay our back panel, our back lining. Right side down on top. So with this pattern, there's nothing that goes underneath. We're gonna lay that right side down on top and it's just gonna stitch across the top and the bottom. And then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna cut around the edges, not any fussy cutting or anything. We're just gonna clean it up and we're gonna flip the pockets. We're gonna turn it right side out and it is done. I didn't put a name or anything on there. When you, especially if it's like a name with like a heavy satin stitch, that's where, a lot of the time will come from. So as I said, this satin stitch, this line going up and down is probably the longest part of this pattern. Yeah, I probably should have cut that a little neater, but I think I can clean it up. I just see like some fray sticking out. And so actually on the pattern that you would make, if you were using the smaller hoop, it has 2 satin stitches instead of 1. And now I'm thinking maybe I should have done that with this one too. I actually think I will. So I'm just gonna add another satin stitch next to it. And that is really just to be sure, just in case you don't get it up close enough or whatever. I always like to put those little safeguards in there. Like even when I have a, like a bag tag or something, I like to bring that inset in a little bit, bring it out a little bit rather, so that, even if your scissors aren't acting right, then you can still get a pretty clean finish. So where are my little snips? Here they are. See, it's actually fray. It's just some pieces. I'll think about it. It won't take much to add that. And then we are double sure. Number one, we'll be double sure that it catches. So just in case you overcut, you cut some stitches or whatever, that those two pieces are together. But by adding that second satin stitch, it really will make sure, or it'll make that both patterns are really the same. So it's probably a better idea anyway. That if I change the pattern, then that's fine. But I'm kind of saying that these are the same. They're just on two different hoops. So yeah, I think I will do that. I'll add another stitch. I want to see actually how far that is on the leather piece. It looks like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good, tacked together stitch. Maybe pretty wide too, but we'll see. I'll sit down and look at it once this is done. So we are at 40 minutes, maybe something like that. I'm still thinking about if I put that tab on upside down or not. It does not really matter either way because I wanted it to have more of a rustic look, which is why I used the leather and I did not either sew it on the machine. I actually have a pattern for a tab, and maybe it's gonna make a 6-inch tab or something that you put on your machine and make that first. I just need to, I will throw it in as an extra file in my Etsy store with the pattern. So I made it after I made the listing because the original bag or the original one, I did not have a tab on it. So it's just definitely optional. I don't know. I think I showed you the blue one. The blue one and then the pink one. I did not put tabs on them. And so this is as nice as it is. I did not iron this one down, and it does have Heat and Bond light on the back to hold it down. I just have not ironed it. And so this is the front. It's just nice. It's nice and fluffy like a pillow. Nice weight. I am still trying to clean up these little stitches. I hate them. I hate a messy applique. And then here's what I did. Okay. So glasses, when I hit my head, it means I'm looking for my glasses. Clean up, clean up, clean up, and don't cut stitches. I'm going to show you guys where we are. We have one last part. So we are 1 minute. I think the last part is a 1 minute stitch. We are 1 minute from finishing. And I think, let's see, let me show you where we are. So here it is. So this is the spine. This is one, and I have my little tab in there and my tab in there. These are the pockets. So when we're done, we're gonna flip these pockets out. And so this will be the outside of our cover. We're gonna flip those pockets right side out. I'm gonna put you back on here. Oh, no problems. Let's just get on and go. Okay. Excuse me. Look, I have a little mess on my table over here. So here's my panel. And for the panel, it just needs to fit the height or this way across. It doesn't really matter how long it is this way. So if I only had a smaller piece, I really wanted to cover, this outside part, but it does not, if you have a smaller piece, it does not have to go all the way. And you will see why I'm saying that once I take this off. So let me run that I was feeling it because it looked like I barely made the cut. So it's going to give us a double line at the top and a double line at the bottom, and that is it. This design is done. We are done with the embroidery machine after this. I will turn on my iron so we can iron that down. I don't have it running very fast. I think, how long does it say this is? So this says it's been going for, oh, I don't know. We have 32 seconds left. 32 seconds left. It's 97% done, 98% done. So we need our scissors. We are done. And if you make one, share it with me. Let me know if you decide like to use tearaway stabilizer. You know, if you just do it different, you might find a better plan, you know, than I have. Let me know if you do something different. Okay, it is done. Embroidery finished. Okay. So it's done at the end. This is what it'll look like. That is our lining that we're going to flip over. This is what the back looks like. We use no-show mesh. I like no-show mesh within the hoop quilting. Now, I said earlier, I'm going to see if I put you guys down a little bit and you can kind of follow along. I am no professional quilter. I love quilting and I'm learning quilting. And so I may change my mind. So right here, so it's stitched to the end to end. And I'm just going to clean this extra off. I don't want it, you know, folding inside the pocket or whatever. And I'm going to clean the extra off of this. And so this is where I said it didn't matter if this went all the way across. If your material only went from here to here and it's stitched across, it's still fine. I just think I like to have that material, that piece, to cover that middle part. You don't see it because the composition book is in there, but if you're given a gift, especially, you just want it to be nice and finished. And so I'm just going around. I am not cutting too close because I fear cutting my stitches. If you have watched me do this before, I usually say, oops, I just cut my stitches. And so I don't want to do that. Then we really can snip these corners, but again, I would rather leave the corners and figure out how to tuck them than to cut my stitches. And so, do I see the corner? Yeah, right here. Okay, so here it is. This is the design. This is what we have. And all I'm gonna do is flip it, turn it inside out. And so this panel, the lining is just flipping around to the other side. So now I'll show you what it looks like. Remember that back was white and we just flipped it through and put that on the other side. I'm keeping my fabric because it has the little characters and I'm gonna iron this a little bit. So I'm gonna iron it before I flip my pockets out. I'm just kind of, it's a little bit stiffer to me, probably because I have this faux leather and I've been using just cotton or minky in there. And I'm gonna be careful. I don't want to overheat my faux leather either. And so I'm ironing this down. Not necessary, optional. You don't even have to put a lining inside this. I think I didn't have heat and bond light on that. It does not. On that edge, I didn't do very good with putting that on. So here it is. And now we're gonna flip our pockets out. And we did it. It's the right way. Remember I said I didn't know if my tab was right. And then we're going to do this one. And this design, this pattern is very forgiving. And I just mean that you can do some things to it. You can add some things. You can, just like I just added that extra tab, you could make this side the front, that side the back. Just be mindful of the direction of your fabric, because as far as the pockets go, it doesn't matter. It would not matter. This is not directional fabric, so it could be this. So here it is. Here are the pockets. This could be the top and the front. I want this to be the top because the lock is there. I probably could have put the lock more in the middle, but I think I was more worried about if I was putting it on the right way. I don't know why either, because I've done that kind of thing, not on here, but a million times. I know that you audition it or you lay it down and then you flip it over. So I don't know why I felt, I'm just ironing this down a little bit. And then we're going to stick our composition book in there. So this is nice. It's a nice weight, and it just really levels up our composition book. So I still need to add the, can you guys see me? Yeah. Add the lock, I want to put, not a grommet, like a little eyelet on it, on this part. Where's the front of the book? I didn't stay true to what I said. So this should be the front, because I want the lock near the top. I don't know why. And again, I should have put it in the middle, but he will love it. It does not have his name on it, but he's gonna know it's his. And so this is what it came out like. Seems like I have, if you can see where I said it did not quite, like there's just a little fray right there. It's not anything bad, but I'll look at that. Or we just need to, instead of me saying, don't clean it up good, you just need to clean it up like an applique, because it definitely gives a nice big satin stitch. And it is done. I'm going to punch the hole. Again, here's the little lock that's going to go on it. And, you know, I don't know how much that'll keep his twin sister out of there. I don't know, but it's just kind of fun. They are excited for it. He actually, I don't think he knows. She knows that I have one for her and she wants to get it. So I need to figure, I'm gonna put a tab on. I am gonna give her the pink minky one. And so that is it. Almost an hour. I didn't really mean to take that long, but thank you guys for hanging in here with me, and be on the lookout for the video using the smaller hoop with the 3 parts to it. And also both sizes, I have a cover using like a faux leather material, and it's made a little bit different. Maybe one step less, 1 or 2 steps less. I'm not sure. I have to look at the pattern again. And so I have that one coming. I just put out the pattern for Charleston. Let me show you. I know this is not about Charleston, but I got to show you. So we have Charleston and Charlotte, Charleston's sister, and the pattern is also in my Etsy store. Now, I think I was saying this was a beginner pattern, but as I have shared it in my school community, I have some saying, yeah, that's not so beginner friendly. But then I have a few saying, oh yeah, I'm ready, I can do that. And so I guess we should probably say it's an intermediate pattern. And so, yeah. So it's in my Etsy store, Charlotte and Charleston. And these patterns, right now, I think I have 3 different listings with different quilting on the front. And I have about 3 more to come. They're already ready. I'm just rolling them out little by little. And that is all. I can't think of anything else. So I will see you guys later. If you are interested in learning more about In the Hoop, in my community, they get my patterns that I make, that I put in my Etsy shop. I give them, I tell them they are my unofficial testers. So as soon as I make a pattern, I usually drop it in my community. So this pattern is there, and the one for both machines are there. Charleston is there, but they're also on my Etsy store. So either way, go get the pattern because it's fun doing In the Hoop designs or In the Hoop embroidery. So I will see you guys later. Bye.